Welcome, seers and seekers. Welcome back to my channel. This is Lucy B. I'm so glad you are here visiting me again. And today we're going to be continuing with the shadow work series in the month of September, which is the month of total eclipses. I felt that it would be a wonderful time to revisit our shadow selves, as this is a month with the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse to start anew, to let go of things that no longer serve you, and to try and start over, to learn from your mistakes, to improve on yourself, and to become a fresh, brand new you. It's sort of like the new year, where everything is bright and hopeful and you're starting over again. Well, spiritually, this is the month with a lot that is going on this particular year. So we're going to continue with getting to know your shadow. So what I'm hoping to achieve with this particular reading is to get you to connect to one of these possible shadow selves, and in doing so, develop an awareness of what your shadow aspects are. Where are there certain masks that you may be wearing and avoiding? And once we get to know what possible shadows you may have, then we can continue for next week, which is where I'm going to be doing a reading, once identifying the shadow, of what possible hidden gifts can be within those shadows. Because the shadow that we all have our shadow selves, and we all have more than one, is not a negative aspect of our personality to have. We all have it. It's only when it becomes unbalanced within our personality where the shadow begins to take over and cause negativity within your life and decrease your energy flow. Instead of vibrating at a higher level, you vibrate at a lower level, and then things do not go as well in your life as they could be. The blessings within your life seem to have slowed down. That's when we are off balanced. And so meeting your shadow will be a very important part of this journey. So I'm giving you 3 possibilities here where there will be messages within these 3 piles that you see here. What I am doing is what I call a 3-in-1 tarot reading, where instead of you picking pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, you listen to the entire reading, and within that you can use your own judgment, since you are the person that best knows your own self, as to which aspect that I am referring to is more applicable to you, which part resonates more with you. So you listen to all 3 piles that I am going to be addressing, and it's likely that within each pile there will be some information for you. It is also likely that if there are 3 shadow aspects that come up within this reading, they may be applicable to you as well. So it will be a good idea for you to listen to the entire reading and see what you can get the most out for yourself. So I'm going to get started right now. All right, let's put this over here. I'm going to start first by showing you a side supplemental card that came out for this particular one, and this is called Earth, Physical Body and Material, with a beautiful gemstone, and it appears to have an amethyst at the top. An amethyst is a beautiful gem. It is about protection and spirituality, and something about the message of Earth that will be applicable to you in this particular reading right here. Let's put it over here. Let's take a look and see which card is going to come out to give you an idea of the first possible shadow within your personality. And the card that came out is Camel. In the second pile, we have Saint Mary of Mount Carmel with ancestral prayers. So this may be a particular message to you, letting you know that you have your ancestors that are watching you. You may be someone who is highly spiritual. You may come from a long line of people within your family who have been very spiritual in many different aspects, psychics, tarot readers, or just somebody that was very in tune with other people and didn't even understand how or why they could predict things that would happen, and they didn't maybe believe in it, but it is in your bloodline with the ancestors here coming in and offering you prayers. And so let's see which card is going to come out for this pile right here. We have here the Hound with loyalty chains and promises. This particular pile too wanted to come out. We have Crystal Ball with visions and focus, and protection with ancestors again, and guidance. So we have two double signifiers here that those who are listening have ancestors who are protecting you, and who have ancestors who were involved in spirituality, psychic, maybe witches, or were just very spiritual in nature. Maybe didn't practice anything, but just were very, very spiritual. And you are very spiritual as well, which is why you're getting this protection from your ancestors. And then we have the crystal ball with visions and focus. So you could be someone who is clairvoyant, someone who is able to see things that others cannot. You may be someone who can possibly read palms, look at crystal balls, look at tarot cards and be able to get images, close your eyes and get different images coming to you. So that is what clairvoyance is, and you have a very strong clairvoyant ability, is what I'm getting here. Let's put this over here. So we have two cards from ancestors here that are wanting to come in and very importantly say a message that they are here to let you know that you are protected, and they see you with your gifts, and they want you to know that they are there to fully protect you in any way that you need to. And then we have finally here the unseen. Very nice. The Hound is a very intimidating card. The shadow aspect of the Hound card with the loyalty, chains, and promises. I'm hearing the words chains that bind you. This card represents being loyal, which is a very good thing to be. That's a very good quality to have as a person. But when it becomes a shadow aspect, your loyalty to someone or to something is far outweighing your loyalty to your own self, creating a chain that keeps you stifled where you are without having the freedom, much like a dog who is bound to their owner for everything that they receive. Food, love, they in turn give loyalty. But there's an aspect of the dog who craves to be wild. And if you don't watch what the dog does and protect its surroundings, it will escape, because that instinct comes out. What I'm getting from here is, out of your shadow self, I could be speaking to someone here who is very kind-hearted, who loves very deeply, but who has forgotten to be loyal to your own self, who has given so much to others that you forget yourself. And sometimes you are feeling as if you are chained to a relationship, chained to a situation without being able to escape from it. It could be chained from a relationship that no longer serves you. It could be chained to a career that no longer serves you, all because you remain loyal to that person, to that job, to that paycheck, and you are not happy. Because the shadow self here, you have shifted over to the shadow side where it has overtaken the positive side of being loyal, which is a very beautiful character to have of someone, but not when it becomes excessive. Excessive at no longer believing in your own self and letting others dictate what should happen to you and becoming too dependent on somebody else. So this card came out as a message to you, as the shadow side that you may need to work on is to be stronger to your own self, to become your own self, to learn to say no, and to put yourself as priority over others. That is your shadow. Giving too much of yourself is not good when you become unhappy and you feel chained and bound. The Camel card is a card that indicates independence. This reflects a person who is very independent, very self-sufficient. Is probably the opposite of what the Hound card would be. But the problem is, when you become too independent and you don't reach out for the support of other people, you overextend yourself. That can be a shadow side as well. Being overly independent and not asking for the support and for the help of anyone within your life, thinking that you can do it all, will lead you to overexhaustion, because we are social beings. Humans are social beings. We need one another. And this card right here is a card that you would think the camel is self-sufficient. The camel can carry water and can sort of feed off of itself for a very long period of time and establish its own nutrients without having to feed or to have fluids within it. But even the camel gets to a point where it needs to feed and it needs to drink. And you are a person that can be very independent and self-assured, and you feel as if you can do it all and you really don't need anybody, but you do. If you are unbalanced with your shadow side, that part takes over. And it gets to a point where others around you, let me turn off this light, it's a little darker, but at least we don't have that brightness right there. Others around you will stop trying to even help you, will stop being around you because they may feel that you are perfectly all right being by yourself without anyone, that you don't have the need for anyone. They may stop inviting you to places. They may stop wanting to have your presence near them because of the air that you may be presenting to them. This air of superiority, or this air of I'm too independent, I don't need anybody in my life. So it's a fine line between being independent and thinking that you have all the answers and you don't need anybody's help, and actually needing help from somebody, because we all need each other. So I'd like to continue to see what the deck is going to show here of the tarot deck. But let's continue on with the unseen, which is this card right here. All right. So interestingly, the unseen goes very, very well With the ancestor cards and the crystal ball, remember that I was indicating that somebody here is clairvoyant, able to see things. Well, the unseen is exactly confirming that one of you at least here has that gift. The gift of being able to see things that are not there. That is exactly what this card is. And it's also connected to ancestors who are coming in to try and let you know that they are there. You may feel them, you may see them. The shadow side of the unseen, however, is when you are not connected to that spirituality, when you're afraid of it. Perhaps something has happened within your life that you saw something when you were younger, or you're blocking it. So you're not aligning yourself with your spirituality. So your shadow in this particular one right here is you're blocking your spiritual gift that has been given to you, that has been handed down from your ancestors. You are afraid to acknowledge it. You don't believe that you have it, and therefore you push it away. When in the dark, this particular card, it's a dark looming energy that you have over yourself. And it's also it is linked to an unwillingness to forgive others as well. So the shadow side of this particular card right here is letting you know that when you are in light, you're clairvoyant and you have beautiful guidance and you pick up on the little whispers of wisdom. When you are in the dark and you are a non-believer of your gift, you lose that ability. And so therefore you're off balance spiritually. You also do not connect with your ancestors, who try very hard to let you know that they are there with you and guide you and protect you. Very beautiful. I'm very curious now to see what this deck right here is going to show. I'm going to turn the light back on. And I'm very curious to see what the tarot cards now are going to say for this particular pile right here. I'm going to pull 3 cards. 3 cards to the unseen pile, please. One. This is the Ten of Swords, carrying a lot of burden. A lot of burden on your shoulders. An unnecessary amount of burden. The Seven of Pentacles. And one more card. The Knight of Cups. All your life, all you have known is to work and to work hard and to carry the burden of others around you. You have had luck within your life with love, with the Knight of Cups as representing. But that too has not come easily within your life. You're someone who isn't afraid to work hard and to plant the seeds that you need to for your future. And because of that, you will be prosperous within your life. You really won't lack having a roof over your head, food in your belly, a car to drive. You will also be someone who will carry love around them and will have love around them. But with the Ten of Swords, the spirituality that you carry is actually very difficult on you at times. What I'm feeling here is sometimes when you have these gifts, they can be a curse as well. For you're able to see things into your future that others cannot. You are also someone who may be excessively anxious and worry a lot and unnecessarily sometimes about the future. Too many thoughts seem to come and go within your mind, and oftentimes they do come true, but many times they don't. I feel your ancestors, your relatives, are here always with you, protecting you, because you are someone who carries a lot of burden within your life. I feel that others within your family don't necessarily believe in your spirituality. They don't believe necessarily in what you believe in. As this is the shadow self that we are talking about, and there was a message with the original card over here stating that your unwillingness to forgive. And then we have this Knight of Cups here. Tells me that within your life, let's put it here, within your life, someone may have hurt you very deeply. You're having great difficulty forgiving them. And there may be somebody now who has attempted to offer you some love or wants to come in, but you are a bit worried about moving forward with it. That goes back to the shadow side of having been hurt rather deeply by someone in the past. Could be also a friend, could be also family that have hurt you, and you're unwilling to forgive at this time. You can't move on from that energy. I'm feeling now, I'm hearing more, this is family related. Family related, not being able to forgive something that somebody has done to you or several members of your family have done to you in your family. It may have something to do with money. It may have something to do with you being a very hard worker and being able to save money and have helped those who have needed within your family, and then they haven't paid you back. That may be an area of lack of forgiveness that you have. That is why your ancestors are coming in to let you know to soften things up a little bit more if you can. If you can find a tiny bit of space within your heart to forgive those who have hurt you within your family, please do so. Also, remember to be your own self and to continue to believe in your own spirituality, and don't put that to one side for those around you who may not believe it or make fun of you. Looking at the Saint Mary of Mount Carmel, it's another ancestral card. Interesting how the theme is very strong with previous ancestors or ancestors that have moved on. And this card comes out when it is asking you to take the time to get to know who your ancestors were and what in particular faith they believed in, and what particular faith you can, as far as maybe prayers, or at least trying to learn what type of faith they believed in and what spirituality guided them, what rituals they may have utilized in the past. This card comes out when your ancestors are asking you to spend a little bit more time in getting to know them. So I'm very curious to see now in this deck what further information is going to come out, as this one came out as a card of being excessively loyal and no longer addressing your needs. Everyone else's needs is more important than your own. And being excessively loyal is not good as well if it crosses over into being excessive, helping others and not your own self. First card out, we have the Page of Pentacles. Next card out, 2 cards please. The Queen of Swords. And the Three of Swords, pain and heartache. When I was looking at this particular card over here and looking at the loyalty and the chains that bind you, I keep hearing the chains that bind you. I felt very sad. I felt like you are a person who is so giving of others, and you're kind of frustrated living in your life where everything else is more important except you, and you're starting to get to a very sad, almost depressed place in your heart. The Three of Swords, excuse me, is all about healing from pain and heartache and sorrow and trauma and having grief. There's some depression as well involved here. But see, this is all under your control. These are things that you most definitely can work on yourself and free yourself from it by simply having a little bit more respect for yourself and learning how to say no. The Page of Pentacles is a beautiful card to have. It is a card that brings in news. It brings in being ambitious and having great loyalty and financial opportunities and good information coming in, being a hard worker. But when it is off balance, as it is with the shadow side, when your shadow takes over, then all those things go away. The prosperity isn't there. The being good with your money isn't there. The lack of progress. Procrastination sets in. Depression kicks in. Missing your opportunities because you're stuck in this energy of everybody else is more important, my time goes to them, and I'm the last one. So you have to get out of that rut that you are in, at that frame of mind that you have right now. And you're asked to go more into the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is very kick-ass. The Queen of Swords doesn't let anybody tell her what to do. Highly intelligent. Highly intelligent, can be female or can be male. Very honest and open and communicative. But when in a shadow or negative or reversed way, can be very cold and very calculated, very strict and unwilling and unbending and very pessimistic. So that is the energy that you may be feeling right now, and you're being asked to take control as the Queen of Swords has control over her life and slash through using that sword of anything that doesn't serve you in your life right now and bring you happiness and bring you joy. Your ancestors are here to let you know that they are here to help you and guide you through this difficult time of moving forward in your life. And it's interesting that the Earth card came out with the camel, because it is all, Earth is about resources and having abundance, and Earth is about enjoying the fruits of your labor and enjoying the fruits of life and the abundance that life and Earth has to offer, which is much what the camel is able to do with their independence. But as I said before, if it's out of control and if it's out of balance, where you feel that you don't need to ask anyone to help you within your life, being highly independent is not necessarily good. We have the Mother of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Swords. Let's have one more card, please. Let's put this card over here. Let's have one more card. One more card. The Eight of Swords. Lots of stress. Lots of anxiety. So you're doing it to yourself, so to speak. You feel like you can be Miss Independent. You're adding more unnecessary stress within your life. Doesn't have to be that way. All right, and we have the Four of Wands, celebrations coming up. Nice. So I feel what this is saying with the, once again, we have the Page of Pentacles, which is, I'm sorry, let me repeat that. That is the Queen of Pentacles, the Mother of Pentacles. So the Mother of Pentacles, or the Queen of Pentacles, which interestingly enough also, no, that was the Page of Pentacles that came up here. So we have a lot of information here about saving money, financial situations, career. But the Queen of Pentacles, or in this particular deck, the Mother of Pentacles, is a person that is you. Very, very independent and knows exactly what she or he needs to do within their life. They know how to raise their family. They know how to tend to the daily life. They know how to do everything. But there's a potential for the identity of this particular person here that I'm speaking to become wrapped up entirely around your home life and leading to, once again, taking care of everybody else but yourself. The Mother of Pentacles, or the Queen of Pentacles, is very connected also to spirituality and to Earth, which is why this came out. So I'm feeling that you are the Queen of Pentacles, the person that I am speaking with right now. And yes, within your life, you may be experiencing right now some very positive moments within your life. Celebrations. Perhaps you have some of your family that is graduating. There could be weddings. There could even be possible retirement coming up within your life. But you are also being told with the shadow self that it's okay now to let go a little bit. And as you get older, to depend more and more on other people. You're going to need to do that at some point. That will decrease a lot of the anxiety that the Eight of Swords right here is representing. So these shadow images that have come up have not been significantly difficult to overcome. These messages that I've been receiving today, they are all very possible to be improved on within your own self, which is very good. But with the shadow self, let's say of this particular one right here, where does this come from? this ability to want to be independent and not need anybody. They say that your shadow selves, part of your personality, comes from something that was created in childhood. So maybe you learned when you were a child to rely only on yourself, to do everything for yourself because your parents weren't around. Not that they were bad people, but maybe they were working. Latchkey kids. I'm a latchkey kid, and let me tell you, you do develop this sense of independence and doing everything on your own. And that comes from knowing that you could only depend on yourself before. And there's nothing wrong with being independent. It's only when it becomes too intense, when it becomes out of control. When you have an over-excessive hyper-independence nature, it actually comes from fear, a fear of being vulnerable, a fear of not having to rely on others because they may not be there for you. And it can lead to this chronic stress, and it could also be pretty damaging to relationships. So even though it's a healthy trait to have, its shadow side can turn into too much self-reliance and being too rigid in your defense mechanism about being let down or being hurt. And it comes from that past trauma of childhood emotional neglect or having inconsistent caregivers when you were little. Very easy to work on this though, and simply the answer to you is to let go. Let go and let others, like the song said, Jesus take the wheel. Let go and let Jesus, let your ancestors, let your family, let others help you, and let go. And once again, revisiting being too loyal, what does that lead to? It can lead to being manipulated, being exploited, giving your love and your attention and your support to those who do not reciprocate. Blind or excessive loyalty can lead to self-worth issues and destructive weaknesses within your own self. So quite easily to get away from this is to start saying no to others and start saying yes to yourself. And the last message here. Do you really think that when you do not forgive somebody, you're hurting them, you're punishing them? I'm here to tell you, the cards are here to tell you, you're only hurting yourself. You carry that within you, within your heart, and it turns to coldness, it turns to negativity, and that person that you haven't forgiven goes on with their life, doesn't even think about you, has absolutely no clue that they have hurt you, and you're having great difficulty forgiving them. And even if they do know, they don't care. So you may not necessarily have to forgive somebody wholeheartedly forever, but just start with the tiniest little drop of something in a positive direction. A hello to them if you happen to meet, rather than ignoring them. Or reaching out to them if you so feel inclined to. Just one little step, one little baby step will push you into a better frame of mind, raise that energy, and then you benefit from it. That's the most important information that I can tell you of all of the messages that came in, and I hope that you are able to receive some clarity from this. This resonated for you, and you were able to receive some guidance from your ancestors, as this was very, very strong energy of ancestors trying to give you this message. Let's conclude with what shadow advice can these cards give you? Angels that are here with me, ancestors of those who are listening, what further messages do you have for the collective here who is taking the time to listen to the messages? And we have consumed, eroding, and habits. Addiction is a prison disguised as freedom, relentless craving. In other words, it doesn't have to be a physical addiction. It could be an addiction to a certain way of living, an addiction to taking care of others over yourself. If you free that, you will free the prison that you are in. And it can be done very, very slowly, very, very easily, one step at a time. I have two further messages that came out. Once again with the addiction, compulsive need despite negative consequences, get support and therapy, healing, liberation, and support. I'm thinking this is talking about that need to help others. It's a control thing of helping others above your own self. And lastly, here's the message of this one, resentment. It often festers, causing a desire for revenge. Let it go. Let go of the past to find peace within. Forgiveness, release, serenity. How's that for a card that confirms this pile 3 over here? Last, let's give you some actual shadow work messages. These are brand new little cards that I got. They're so cute and little. Let's see what other pieces of advice I can give you here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you're still here listening to this. I'm going to finish up with doing 3 jokes. Why? Because we need a little bit of laughter after going through something really deep as shadow work. So we're going to pull some dad jokes to leave you with some ridiculous dad jokes. And we have here, narrow-minded. You have a limited outlook on perspective and thoughts. What makes you think your thoughts are solid gold? I think that comes over here with the 8 of Swords. Having all those thoughts within your mind. Too much thinking. And there's the addictions card again. My goodness, think about the emotions you are trying to cover up. Deal with those emotions, process, heal, and release them. This is just crazy. 3 cards confirming that you have an addiction to some sort of emotional attachment to something. You are the best judge of all this information that I presented here. You know exactly what it is that you may be, I wouldn't say addicted, but compulsive about a certain emotion, a certain latching control of some sort. But there are 3 messages here of addiction that came out, which is just wild to me. So I hope that you got some good insight into these messages. Let's finish up here with 3 dad jokes, please. 3 dad jokes. Okay, that's enough shuffling. Let's cut them here and we'll pull from the top. Here we go. First dad joke. Why did the Greek woman stop eating cheese? Let's turn this off. Why did... You can't see it. There you go. Why did the Greek woman stop eating cheese? Because she was getting fed up and fed up. Okay. When should you go, again with the cheese, when should you go on a cheese diet? if you need to cheddar a few pounds. Oh my gosh, these are terrible. Last one, let's see if this one's better. Where do all the letters sleep? In the alphabet. Isn't that cute? Okay, I hope that gave you a little bit of a smile to go along with this deep healing work that we're doing here. Next week, we're going to start looking to see if possibly some of the shadow work that you have to do, if it can actually be a gift for you in some aspects. So that'll be very interesting. So until then, I'd like you all to know that, of course, I am not a therapist. So please seek out therapy if and when you need to from the professionals. And I always finish up by saying that there are no definitive answers in tarot, only options, possibilities, and hope that you can draw from, and then you make it work. You are in the driver's seat. Remember, there's ways that you can fix this. So choose wisely. Thank you so much for being here. Love and light to you always. Bye-bye for now.